Credit AFP Paris Saint-Germain are on a collision course with UEFA over the extraordinary loan-buy deal they have engineered for Kylian Mbappe in a bid to avoid breaching financial fair play regulations for a second time. Barely 3 weeks after signing Neymar for a world record £200 million, a fee which left PSG in danger of failing to meet their FFP obligations, the Qatar-backed club agreed to make Mbappe the second most expensive player in history by paying Monaco €180 million £167.3 million for him. But rather than do so now, PSG have somehow convinced their rivals to loan the world's most sought-after youngster to them this season before the move becomes permanent next summer. If the structure of that deal allowed PSG to avoid posting losses in excess of €30 million over 3 years, the maximum permitted for any club playing in UEFA competitions, it would make a mockery of FFP rules. Mbappe leaves Monaco on a one-season loan, making a mockery of FFP. Credit AFP UEFA would not comment on a matter last night, but the Daily Telegraph has learnt that, if Mbappe is signed in this way, PSG would not automatically avoid having to declare a portion of his transfer fee in their accounts for this season. As with suggestions Neymar's £200 million Barcelona release clause could be paid not by PSG but the Qatari state to keep the deal off the club's books, something they deny intending to do. UEFA has been conscious from the moment it introduced FFP regulations that there would be efforts to bypass them. Included in those regulations, therefore, is an article which highlights the overall objectives of these regulations, in particular to defeat any attempt to circumvent these objectives. PSG famously fell foul of FFP rules when they first came into force and were fined what was eventually €20 million £18 million. Any further breach, particularly one triggered by a flagrant attempt to bypass the regulations, is likely to result in an even more severe punishment, with the ultimate sanction expulsion from the Champions League. Amid accusations earlier this month that the Neymar deal had signaled the death knell for FFP, UEFA went public to warn that was not the case, pointing out that any rule breaches could only be judged at the end of a given financial accounting period, not the start. It said all clubs must abide by the rules of FFP or face the consequences. UEFA is exceptionally serious about the enforcement of FFP and keen that its success in stabilizing the finances of European football continues. That was after the president of La Liga, Javier Tebas, accused the club of state-backed financial doping in signing Neymar, the cost of which could eventually rise to £400 million given his £80 per year wages. Tebas also said he would lodge a formal Liga complaint with UEFA and the European Union about the teams that receive economic investment from countries that gift players to their fans at the cost of taking them from other clubs. However, they have come about. The Neymar and Mbappe deals spell the end of the dominance of Spain's two leading clubs, Real Madrid, who wanted to sign the latter, and Barca, in the transfer market. It also has political implications for Qatar, isolated by sanctions imposed by its Middle East neighbors and eager to establish its credibility in football before it hosts the 2022 World Cup.